Hello world, this is Chris, the Elevations Coach. It's April 26, 2020. Here in Michigan, we're still dealing with the COVID-19 lockdown, but we are supposed to be checked in and setting up our pits for our VEX Robotics and finishing up our VEX EDR worlds. Unfortunately, we're not doing that because robotics was canceled this year. Now, I know that's a big negative for a lot of people, and it certainly is for me, as a lot of my life has been revolving around robotics for a number of years now. But I thought it'd be interesting to have a little conversation about what that means. So since that is a big negative for us, I think it's beneficial to look at what we can do with the extra time that we have. So I had a lot of quote-unquote leaders in the Army. Anything bad ever happened, they always said it could be worse. Yeah, it certainly could be worse, but it absolutely could be better. I think it's beneficial to find a good way to make things better instead of just dealing with it the way it is and just saying, screw it, it could be worse. I always said I want to be a leader like that, so when everything happened, I figured we'd see what we could do to make things a little bit better. I'm just sitting in my backyard, figured it'd be an interesting video backdrop for having a little conversation. So today, I should have 3 teams really at VEX Worlds. My youngest team, newest team, 2048H. They've been a team now for less than 5 months, which is hilarious. They progressed through the local competitions surprisingly well, and as they continued to compete, they just got better and better and started winning local competitions. Obviously then qualified for states, and here in Michigan at the elementary level, they got first place in the state. That's 2048H, my Hooba-Looba team. A couple young kids that 5 months ago, 6 months ago, haven't even thought about doing robotics, really. And then they put together a team and started stomping. It was quite phenomenal. And as we saw yesterday, the VEX did their virtual worlds competition, and according to the stats, somehow they managed to get division championship in the division that they were placed in at Worlds, which is quite amazing. And I could only wish that we could actually been there so they could experience what that's like. So I had another team years ago actually got division, I think it was second place division, and it's just amazing to see the culmination of the kids' efforts throughout so many months, which is hilarious because in many sports, your season is maybe a couple of months, or if you do well, then it might go 3-4 months. But as many of the coaches and parents and kids know, when you do well in the VEX world, your season ends up lasting about 9 months, which is kind of crazy if you really think about it. It's for the better part of a whole year. And then come summer, you're basically just planning and organizing once that World's game release happens. I know my kids were right on designing and notebooking and brainstorming and reading the manual as soon as it got released. And they're going to be doing that now all through summer, and then we'll actually start practices all over again. So it ends up being a year-long competition, and to have Worlds canceled, kind of a letdown, obviously. Now, I had my other more experienced team. They qualified for Worlds again in the middle school level. This is their 7th grade year. Next year will be their last year. It'll be kind of sad to see them go. And then I have another team. They're just into middle school, so they'll be with me for a couple more years. Last year, the parents actually reached out to me and to try to have us take over the team so they could move on to the next level, or elevate to the next level, if you will. And they have done phenomenally well, and they're the ones that were actually on the chat and brainstorming together almost the moment the new game was released. But we're not going to Worlds. The cool part is, since we do have this new release, the game will be getting bigger. We do have now a few months to prepare and get ready for next year's competition, and I imagine all three of my teams will be going again. But what's kind of nice is, since we have this extra time, since Worlds did get canceled after States, we took that and made that into an opportunity, and I decided to, well, for one, start drone teams, because that wasn't canceled. But then right away that got canceled, just probably about a week after the teams were registered. So since that got canceled and Worlds got canceled, everything else ended up getting canceled because of the COVID-19 infection across the country and really the world. I decided to start spinning up online Python classes. So what we're doing now is everybody's remoting into some of the different labs I have set up, either at my shop or my home lab. So everybody has the opportunity to continue learning and continue on. And what's kind of cool is now I even have a 8-year-old kid who's learning Python programming. And we've got everybody from my elementary team all the way up to my 7th graders are doing Python programming. And now I've got Raspberry Pi set up. I just ordered a couple more. We've got tank bots coming. And hopefully within the month or so, we'll have remotely controlled over the internet Raspberry Pi powered tanks that can be driving around the yard. Potentially driving through the pond. We'll see how that goes. If we get some amphibious vehicles going. And I think it's beneficial just to take what the world gives you, figure out what you can do with it, turn it into a positive, find ways to learn and expand, and you could say elevate yourself and continue on. Hopefully my teams are enjoying the opportunity that they have here. It seems like an interesting world, but we'll come out ahead. I know at least my kids will all have more programming skills. And then once we can actually finally get back together, we'll have a little end of season party and make our plans for our new field, new year, new game elements. It'll be an interesting one. And it'll be my last year with my team that I've been with the longest. A young man who's grown a lot over the years that I've been with him. And hopefully we'll be pushing into Worlds, and I would love to see at their 8th grade level making it down to the arena. We will see how it goes. But I just want to take some time and sit down and have a conversation with myself, I guess, or with all of YouTube world, and hopefully my kids will take some time to watch. And just remember, we'll make it through this. And you'll always deal with setbacks through the rest of your life, professional, personal, whatever it may be. And it's beneficial to find a way to make it better. Things are always going to be bad in life, one way or another. But really matters is how you react to it, how you deal with things, how you can turn that into a positive or maybe even a motivator for something to learn or something to make things a little bit better down the road. Anyway, just figured it'd be fun to have a little video, have a little conversation, talk about what we've done with our teams. This is Chris with Elevations. Hope you learned something. Have a good day.